What up? What up? What up? What it is? What it do? You know who it is? Who are you? Back again. 22 twos. We are here for another quick hitter. We got the
Yeah.
fellas in the building. This is not a CNN interview. We don't know who the talent agent is. We just showed up and we about to go ahead and get.
Who booked me for
Who
this?
getting some cheeks after?
Who booked me for this? Who booked me for this?
We just showed up. We about to hit y'all with some really, really dope content surrounding sports and hip hop culture, as we always do. So with that, gonna kick it over to my man FJB to go ahead and get us rolling.
Yo, man. So, of course, somber start to this pod because our beloved Knicks did all they could do. We watched them go down at home in Game 7. You know, we fought everything. We fought adversity. We fought injuries. But, you know, in the end, the injuries just became too much to overcome. We saw our star player, Jalen Brunson, go down in the third quarter with a fractured hand, his shooting hand. So, you know, any momentum we had, that comeback was stopped short. Unfortunately, and the Indiana Pacers completed the best shooting percentage in a playoff game in NBA history. That's what it took to get rid of those pesky Knicks. But the Indiana Pacers have advanced and gone to the Eastern Conference Finals to play the Boston Celtics. As of right now, this recording is 8 minutes and change left in the fourth quarter. Boston's up 100 to 95. Looks like it'll be close. Indiana's doing, you know, all of what they did last series, you know, try to create open shots, knock those down. They're running with pace, even on Boston makes. They're getting out and ahead. Out west, we saw this Minnesota team. What a topsy-turvy second round matchup, first of all. Denver and Minnesota. Minnesota takes the first two on the road. We thought this was over. We thought there could be a possible sweep. Denver fights back and wins 3 in a row, and then Minnesota comes back with that Game 7 road victory. Anthony Edwards, 6 for 24 from the field, but he got help from Mike Conley. He got help from Karl Anthony Towns. He got help from Rudy Gobert. You know, he even though he shot terribly from the field, he figured out a way to be involved. They put him on Jamal Murray in the second half, and my man was in jail.
23-hour lockdown.
He even said it after. So we have the Minnesota Timberwolves advancing to the Western Conference Finals, playing the Dallas Mavericks. That should be a series in itself. I think, again, so this is going to be the 6th year in a row that we have a different champion. We haven't had a repeat champion since the 17-18 Golden State Warriors. Crazy. So, fellas, talk to me about these conference finals. Who do we think is going to represent each conference? You know, we had that discussion several weeks, probably like about 2 months ago. We discussed this right after All-Star break. You know, I said it looks like it's going through Boston and Denver. You know, Boston's still alive, but they got Denver out of here. So I still think Boston's going to beat Indiana. And I actually have Minnesota beating Dallas to represent the West. And it's going to be Jason Tatum versus the new face of the NBA, Anthony Edwards. So, Sean, I'll kick it to you. I'll kick it to you. We still got to see. What if Luka wins? What if Luka just goes on a crazy run and this is Luka's show, you know? But, Sean, I'll kick it to you first, man. What do you think is going to happen in these conference finals? Who do you think is going to represent each conference? And maybe even a final prediction?
First of all, let's go and talk about Baby Jordan real quick, right? Anthony Edwards had he was 6 for 24 in that final closeout game. But his defense and the way that he was able to impact the game in other ways kind of transcended him. And he talked about it. He took pride in that. He didn't care about his shooting percentage, but you saw him in the huddle going into the fourth quarter. He was like, I got y'all. I'm gonna step up. I'm gonna put it on the line, and y'all
he had the shot that mattered too.
Yeah, he did.
That 3-pointer was.
Yeah. So you talk about earning respect. You know, Cat Williams did Cat Williams.
Wow.
Karl Anthony Towns. The Cat Williams ain't big enough to play in the NBA. My bad.
Let Cat Williams tell it. Let Cat Williams tell
it. Karl Anthony Towns.
I am nothing more than 5'2", what?
One after the motherfucking other. Nah, but yeah, he Cat played great, man. He did an excellent job on Joker in spots where Rudy Gobert had to have a seat and sit on the bench. Yeah. Murray was locked up by Ed, and I as far as them going into this conference finals against Dallas, I look forward to the matchup with Kyrie Irving, because he's going to be checked by Anthony Edwards at some point.
No one
and
can
that's
check
gonna
No one.
We shall see.
Kyrie.
I agree.
We shall see. But I like that matchup. It's going to be fireworks. The key to that series is definitely going to be the play of Luka. If Luka can get off and do what he needs to do offensively, then I think that Dallas has a strong chance. It might win it in 7, but the number 1 defensive team in the NBA, they're going to come to play and they're going to bring it. I think that they're in trouble. As far as the Celtics and the Pacers, I am shocked to see the brand of basketball that the Pacers are playing, because they're doing a great job defensively. Yeah. In spots, you know what I mean? They have lapses, but they're deep. The strength of their team is their bench. Yeah. They're able to put up points in bunches. So I like the Pacers. I like the direction that they're going, but I like Celtics Timberwolves and when it's all said and done.
All right, Manuva, talk to me about these conference finals. I keep hearing this baby Jordan, terminology thrown around, and here's why I don't like it, right? Whenever we talk about top 10 players in NBA history, who's a name that's like always forgotten, and they say, oh, you forgot about this guy? It's Kobe, right? And he was the closest iteration we seen to Jordan. He has 5 rings, 5 and 2 in NBA finals, but we often forget about him. And Stephen A. Smith said it himself. It's like, it's hard enough to be the original, but when you come behind him and you play like him, but you don't quite live up to the standards, it's often forgotten about. And I agree. Does Anthony Edwards' game look like Jordan-esque? Sure, it does. He can jump out the gym. He has the fadeaway. He has the mid-range package. He's a better three-point shooter right now than Jordan was at this point in his career. I'm just wary of the fact that if Anthony Edwards doesn't start racking up rings soon, the media is going to turn on him, and that's what I want to avoid.
That's inevitable. It's inevitable they're going to turn on him. Yeah. They've got to find a way to put attack,
make him his own man.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So but
when does that ever happen in the NBA? The comparisons inevitably come. So it's like,
yeah, but I also think comparisons are not a fair thing, regardless of, especially not just Jordan, but comparing anyone from the 80s and 90s to the 2010s and the 2020. It's not, it's not a fair comparison. And I'm sure at one point we'll get into it, but in the future. But the reality of the situation is the super team is dead. Big threes are dead. You got to have a bench. You got to have talent throughout. You got to have talent throughout. You can't, have 2 or 3 matches.
Oh, bench, right?
I know you.
We're not doing that.
I'm not dying on that hill. That's not my hill to die on today. I'm gonna leave that. I'm gonna let that one go.
You can't have 2 or 3 superstars and then have a bunch of minimum level players.
Hey, shout out to Bradley Beal, man.
So
top 15 salary, not in the.
I'm not doing that.
Yes, here we go. You're gonna die on that hill though.
Bradley Beal's
to that point, that's what you see with the teams that remain now in the playoff. Very good, very strong rotation. I think that's why Indiana has made it, so far. I don't think Minnesota's ahead of schedule. I think Dallas has put the work in. I think Boston has, of course, been relevant, but I think the reason it seems like Indiana is ahead of schedule is you look at them in the Knicks series, and it's like there were stretches of 5-8 minutes where it's like, hold on a second, Halliburton ain't on the floor. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
and it's just an
about
onslaught.
15.
yeah.
Not to steal your thunder, but it's just an onslaught of buckets, the runs that they go on.
Yeah.
That just,
So
the shot, the shot making was incredible.
But you know,
like
I don't think Miles Turner was for the whole half. The whole.
I always got a sports story that I like to bring it back to. I remember playing in a league.
Here come Al Bundy.
Here come Al Bundy for
four touchdowns in a single game.
No, we were literally like the second or third best team in the league, and by chance we made it to the final. And the team that we were playing the best team in the league. They had 6 guys show up for the game. We had our entire team. So our game plan, because they were that much better than us, was run. And we're gonna every dead ball we're gonna substitute and we're gonna run. And we're gonna run them into the ground. And that's what it seems like Indiana's is doing. But I don't think it's enough. I think if they don't steal one in Boston, there's no chance that this series goes past maybe 5 games. So I'm looking forward to, honestly, a Boston Minnesota finals. And then the big thing for me with all of that, and I'll end here, is like, if Minnesota wins the championship, what happens with Alex Rodriguez in the purchase of the team?
A-Rod, man.
Yeah.
Oh man. So Darnell, talk to me about this. Do we need to be more patient with these teams? And I say this by saying this. Kyrie Irving got traded to Dallas Mavericks last year, and all the talk at the end of the season was like, they play the same position, they both need the ball, this isn't gonna work. They tanked the last couple games of the season so they could try to get a top 10 pick in the NBA draft. It worked. Got Derek Lively. Minnesota, Gobert trade might have been the worst trade in NBA history. They gave up way too many first-round picks. And they're in the conference finals the next year, both teams meeting each other. Yeah. Indiana built their team, or they traded for Halliburton. Yeah. They make a trade for Pascal Siakam, and they're in the conference finals. Yeah. Are we moving too quick to try to break teams up and say trades aren't worth it without getting 2 to 3 seasons worth of playing time on the floor?
Well, I think it's great. For the NBA, I would say it's not the best thing, because NBA is all about ratings. Dynasties bring ratings for the NBA. But there's another side to that coin. So parity, which we do have now, we brought up 6 teams. This is six straight years have been a separate champion in the NBA. So right now, of course, we can't lie, man. ESPN wanted Boston versus the Knicks. Like, everybody, it was no hiding it. ESPN wanted that. Like, let's be honest. Like, everybody did. That would have been something great, because it said it was that, and bringing that city rivalry ratings for the NBA. But right now, I remember we laughed about that Rudy Gobert trade, and I think I brought it up a few months ago, and I was like, hey man, like, they got 2 big men. But Cat essentially is a 4. He could play the 5 if he needs to. And right now in the development of that team, I don't think we're pushing it. I just think what we seen, the body of work, I mean, they decimated the Suns, just ran through it.
Yeah, that was easy work.
Yeah, and it said, as much as people want to say, like, well, they don't have a bench, you don't have a point guard. No matter what, you have 3 quote unquote max players, you're going to get that moniker. You can't run away from that. That's like, hey, if I'm gonna buy Mercedes Benz, I'm gonna get the moniker of, hey, you got some money, you buying a Mercedes Benz. It comes with the price tag. It comes with it. So you got
the Suns are a perfect, like you alluded to. The Suns are a perfect example. Yeah. You cannot buy a championship anymore.
No, you can't.
You need player development is just as important. Yeah. Just as important as being able to get free agent pieces that work for your basketball team.
Yeah,
you can still buy a championship.
But it's complementary pieces, man. You can't just have a.
That's the key.
That's the key.
So I don't know what Matt Ishby is talking about. We're going to keep this team together. I'm like, dude, you need to start selling off assets. You don't have
it's not about you can't pay multiple max players. It's about paying the right max players together.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Have
so,
3 of the same kind of guys.
So if the Knicks come saying, "Hey, we're gonna give you 3 first-round draft picks for Devin Booker or KD,"
don't want them.
No. I'm just saying, like, I'm just in the context. Like, if you want to do that, you need to take that. You need to take that. You know, like, you got a short window.
Take that.
All right, Diddy.
So I'll go back to it, and I said I'll put up.
That's what he said to Cassie.
Oh,
all right.
We're gonna get to that.
Oh,
we're gonna get to that.
Well,
that's like that Peter Griffin. You know.
Can I just say one thing
real quick to cap off this NBA segment?
I didn't say one thing.
Go ahead.
I made my pick.
Oh, make your pick.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Minnesota, and right now it's 108-107.
Yeah.
340 in the fourth quarter. I would say this: if somehow, some way, the Indiana Pacers wins this game 1, Boston has a problem.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I would say so.
I think Boston is prone to falling asleep at the wheel.
Okay, so I'll say
that. But like FJB said, they are the most unserious, and shout out to dude in the comments. People that try to come for you. They are the most unserious contender in the Eastern in the playoffs right now.
Yeah.
Can I just say one thing before we get out the NBA? I gotta say this, and this is a message to all my Knicks fans out there. I know it's a tough loss.
That's where I was going.
You're getting ahead. Don't you?
All right. I'm gonna leave it alone then.
But I'm just gonna say Minnesota. And if Pacers could win game 1, I'm gonna pick the Pacers to go.
We not doing that. All right, fellas. If we could get the Knicks wish list, you could get any, not even free agent. You can get any one player to join this roster in the league for next season. Who would it be? I'll go first. Paul George. He fits in beautifully with this roster. Sean, who would you want?
Mikael Bridges.
What
they want? 8 first round. What these niggas want? 8 first round picks? You got it. Bring them over. You know what I mean? Just give them all draft picks, because guess what? They need that equity, right? Over 4.
Just write the check.
And not to be too long winded. Give them all those draft picks and need the draft equity, right? Because they don't have any draft picks going forward. Bring him in minimal cost. What do you trade away Bogdanovich to make the money work, or somebody like that, and bring him over. Villanova 4, baby.
Don't know.
Nah. If I had to pick, I would. I know. I used to say it, the man without no soul, but I would like us to get Devin Booker if we can. Devin Booker. I think Devin Booker.
Devil eyes with
devil. I call him Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones. I call him Game of Thrones.
He's a White Walker.
The White Walker. My son White
Walker. I'm not.
My son White Walker in the building, bro. That nigga got no soul, bro.
Who's on my wish list? Y'all gonna laugh at this one.
DeMar DeRozan.
No. I got it. Cam Reddish. Bring him back.
Cam Reddish.
No. Not Cam. Not this time. All I want is a healthy Julius Randle.
Yo,
keep him.
Yo, look. Hey, crazy. Hey, sidebar. You know, it's a crazy one that I did hear the other day. Brandon Ingram. I was really shocked by that one.
That would be nice.
I was shocked.
Be cool.
I think
that would be nice.
I think that we all need to keep in mind that we have to get someone that has either played for Tiz before or
can play in that.
Because it's got to be that. Because otherwise, it's gonna mess up what we got going.
Well, DeRozan played the most minutes.
No,
but key to what Maneuvers just said, right? And Kevin Garnett made that point earlier this week. He said, you want to go after a player that you can add to the Knicks that take us over the top, but you need a player that's going to fit. what the Knicks do and their style of play. They're gritty. You know, they play you hard for 48 minutes. You need a star that is going to echo or emulate that style of play and be able to fit in seamlessly. So I agree with you on that.
And then, you know, just to round that point out, it's like a lot of people are saying, well, he can't work with Brunson. I completely disagree. A healthy Julius gives.
We saw it work.
Yeah, that 26 was it 26 and 2?
So we saw it work.
3 or something like that.
Well, they were like 18-2 with Randall, OG, and Brunson. You kidding me?
What was Brunson averaging 26? Julius was at
25 that time. Yeah.
It just gives us another option. No, Diddy Julius has the size to help with on the defensive end, and I think.
I'm glad he did that.
He's a double-double. He's a double-double.
The big thing for me, though, is when we get in those situations, like Julius can go get his own. He don't need Jalen to set him up. He don't need Jalen to drive into the paint and hope he can find him around all the tall guys that are surrounding him. Run an ISO, give it to Julius, let him go get us a bucket, you know?
So necessarily, are you saying like so you're just saying healthy Julius Randle, but are you talking about if we could get a small forward, get a 2 guard, like
I don't think.
No, I think he means just running it back with a healthy
running
team.
it back with
a
healthy squad. That's it. With that squad, we got a starting 5 and a bench that we can go 5, maybe 6 deep with if Tibbs decides to do so. So,
well,
we'll have no, but I think the big kicker. I'm sorry. If we let's say we add, and then let's just be realistic. Let's just say we just go out and we say, hey, we're going to add. Maybe we're going to give it 1 player and get. I think DeRozan might be the fit. To be honest,
he might be a fit, but I don't want to give up anything that we have.
No, but he's not. He's a free agent. He's unrestricted. He could just
unless he comes in on the mid level.
He might. They said he might want to go back home to LA. So I don't know.
And money will also be the issue.
And that's why I'm saying I don't want to.
Money will be the issue.
I want
to have
who we got.
Because you have, and not to make this because we gotta move it quickly. You got to re-sign OG, right?
He got a player option, so they're gonna re-sign him to a long-term deal.
Yeah, they have to sign him to a long-term deal. Then you have Jalen Brunson, who's I think has earned an extension this summer. It's going to be cheaper to pay him. You can go up to 175 M's versus 240 M's next year after next year's season. And then you got Julius Randle, who's also extension eligible next season. Not to mention that you have to think about what you're going to do with Mitch, with his problem with his lower extremities, his legs. Like, how much longer do you think you can deal with him being in the rotation with the problems that he has? So I
think he would rush back anyway, but.
Yeah, but this is what the second or third season that he's had a lower leg injury that he's missed. And lower leg injuries, as we've seen with Porzingis, don't go away.
So can I wrap this one up? Because I want a message to my Knicks fan, and I spent a lot of time around the city in the last couple of days, and I gotta say something. All you young Knicks fans, you guys who are Knicks fans of the 2000s, like, relax. We've suffered a long time. Yeah. We don't need it. Like,
this is nothing.
The future. Yeah. This is the first time in suffering, though. This is honestly the first time in the suffering where it's like the future is bright.
It's bright. It's not as painful. It's not as painful.
Things look good. And the most important thing is we got a team. That's our team. The way they play basketball represents us as New York. Who they are and how they embrace the fans, how the fans embrace them is a beautiful thing. Like, orange and blue skies for real. Like, things are looking up. So don't panic. It was, what I'm saying, we weren't expecting to win a championship this year. Right. It would have been nice. Of course, it's always nice if your team can pull it off. But I'm proud of them. I've rocked a Knicks hat last 2 days. Never been more proud of my team after a Game 7 loss than I have been with those fellas. So hats off to y'all. Great season. Looking forward to next season, fellas.